And if you are by a computer and wanted to check that out, we do have all of our information for the upcoming Customer Experience Day available at cxday.org. We'll specifically be looking today at our company celebrations page, and we've invited all of you to this call so that we can discuss really how Customer Experience Day was celebrated last year on our first ever CX Day, and then what are some of the ideas that companies are bringing to the day this year. We'll be celebrating Customer Experience Day on October 7th, and as you can see from the website, there are a number of online events and in-person events happening that day. But what we really want to do is help facilitate the capability for you to bring the celebration internally to your company. So with that in mind, we have a few guests that are with us today. These guests led celebrations at their company last year, and they are willing to come on the line today and share how that went and what some of those lessons learned were from last year. So I think we have Wendy on the line. Wendy, can you go ahead and let us know if you're there? Wendy from Hallmark?
Absolutely. Hi.
Wendy, why don't we go ahead and get started with you today? If you want to go ahead and share a bit. Hallmark had a pretty big piece to our celebration last year. They, in fact, helped CXPA send out cards to all of our members celebrating the day. And I know you guys took it even farther than that. You want to go ahead and share what you did?
Absolutely. So we were a mighty team of 4 within our organization of several thousand people. So we were excited to be able to host 3 different awareness campaigns for the Customer Experience Day last year. One was company-wide within our corporate office. The second was for our greater internal department. And the third was for our Hallmark Gold Crown store owners and store managers. So I'll just briefly touch on what each of those 3 campaigns were. Like I said, we're trying to do this kind of low budget. Everyone's trying to watch budgets now, so it was, I would say the entire thing was completed for under $500, yet we were able to raise awareness to a lot of people. So for our company-wide headquarter awareness, we have at Hallmark Corporate Office, we have what we call the Crown Room. It's our cafeteria. It's open on a daily basis for breakfast and lunch, and we were able to create table tents. You can see there on your screen if you're in front of a computer some samples of those table tents, and basically it included the Customer Experience Day, October 1st last year. Also some facts about customer service that you can find online. We did some reading in books, and we also did some looking online about some facts with customer experiences, how long it takes to retain or to gain a customer back once they're dissatisfied, or why customers leave us. You can see some of those examples on your screen. In addition, there are just a plethora of customer experience quotes out there that are just fantastic to bring it home that we are each serving the customer regardless of whether we're on the front lines or whether we're housed in a corporate office, such as our team. So we made these table tents, and they were on each table in our cafeteria for the week of leading up until that Customer Experience Day. There were 4 different combinations of table tents, so our hope was that as people visited the Crown Room on a daily basis, they would sit at a different table and therefore see a different awareness. And we did leave our team email address at the bottom. I will say we didn't receive any email, but at least it was there for awareness that we do exist. Our team, Gold Crown Customer Experience Team, we do exist in this company, and we were available to answer any questions. So that was our corporate-wide awareness campaign. The second thing we did, we are housed as a customer experience team in our retail store operations group. And so within that group, there are probably about 20-some folks that sit around our area. So for those people, and I think you can scroll down, or maybe it was the first slide that you had up there, we sourced an individually wrapped cookie, and we added this note. It says, "Sweet experiences. Thank you for bringing customer experience to life in Hallmark's Gold Crown." So that was as an appreciation, as a thank you to the folks in our immediate area. In addition, we also had those table tents sitting around in different file cabinets and whatnot. So again, that awareness of that day and customer experience was brought to life, and as a thank you to our team members for doing what they do to bring that experience to life in our stores. And the third thing was our retailer awareness. Our Hallmark Gold Crown retailers have access to a website portal that they can log on for messaging and tools and resources. So we posted a message calling for customer experience stories to be submitted. Tell us some great customer stories that stick out in your mind. What relationships have you built? What stories can you share? And so as they posted the stories to the web page, they were published. We'd published all the stories. And I would say we got a response of about 50 stories, which wasn't overwhelming, but considering that our retailers are very busy and this was just one added thing to share, we were pretty pleased. And as they entered their comment, they were also entered into a truly random drawing. And that drawing then afforded them, if they were selected, 150 cookies to be sent to them to be served that same weekend at their store. We had a special event going on in our stores. That was our regular ornament debut that happens in October. And so we were able to capitalize on that event and say, hey, if you would like to serve 150 cookies to your customers, we're going to pay for that tab if you submit a story. So all in all, we had 2 winners, and they were just absolutely thrilled that their story was selected, and we were thrilled that they participated in our event. And our goal was to post those stories so that other people could be inspired, hopefully, to keep connecting with customers, keep creating those great customer experiences in our stores. So all in all, we had about 2,200 Hallmark stores that we reached with that message that, hey, it's Customer Experience Day, and to bring the awareness to the forefront that customer experiences are important, and that's why we're in business.
Thanks, Wendy. That was great. And I just wanted to let everyone know that we do have, since we have so many callers on this line today, we have everyone muted except our guests. So if you have a question or want to hear a little bit more about what that effort was, please go ahead and type that into the chat box, or feel free to send me an email as well, and I can connect you with that person after the call. But we can take questions through chat, and then at the end of the call, we'll go ahead and open up the lines as well and unmute everyone if you want to ask a question on the call today. So that, again, was Wendy Boss from Hallmark, and they helped us out a lot last year as well by sending out some beautiful Customer Experience Day cards. So thanks, Wendy, for that and for all of the effort that you put in last year. Okay, so the next person that I wanted to ask to chime in on this was Lynn Koch from Fidelity. Lynn, are you available? Are you there?
Hi, Leslie. I'm here. I'm happy to share our update from last year. So last year, a number of our investor centers really leveraged the first Customer Experience Day as an opportunity to share or show appreciation for their clients, and they did this in a number of different ways. So many of them actually shared photos and highlights from the day with us afterwards. But some of the things that worked really well is they did put up visual displays to create some great excitement and energy and buzz in the branches. So they put up posters and balloons in the lobbies, for example. Many set up tables where they had coffee or snacks for clients, and some of them got creative and did things like provide an ice cream bar, for example, just something fun and different that people would notice when they came into the office that day. They also, in some cases, did some raffles or giveaways. So again, just to try to create a good buzz. And there was a lot of great feedback from clients. So many of the folks that I talked to said, people stopped. They were interested in terms of what was going on. They really appreciated it and took notice. And the associates also shared that it also created a lot of great engagement internally. So it got people excited, leading up to the day, knowing that they had something planned, and then even afterwards. Because one of the things that we did is internally we shared a lot of photos and highlights from the day. So we wanted to give people a feel for, what some of the regions and what some of the different investor centers had done. And so that was a great way to kind of share some examples and best practices, but then it also served as a nice way to provide some recognition. So we have folks in the field, who serve as customer experience champions, and they did a lot of this work. They really went above and beyond. It certainly wasn't something that was required of them, but they really stepped up to make sure that the day was a big success. So we wanted, to do that not only to kind of share learnings and best practices for this year, but also as a way of saying thank you. So I would say for this year, we're really looking forward to kind of replicating those activities on a much broader scale, just in terms of, last year it was something that some of the regions did. This year what we want to be able to do is say, this worked really well. Here are some best practices. And just in terms of increasing participation across the investor centers, getting a lot more folks to get on board and celebrate the day. So there's a lot of excitement there. And then one of the other things that we're doing is we have a much more robust internal communication plan. So on Customer Experience Day that morning, we're planning to send out messages from our senior leaders and executives, and those will really be targeted or segmented by audience. So, I think we do hear oftentimes that employees get a ton of email. There's a lot of content on the intranet. There, on any given day, there's a high volume of information out there. But one of the things that tends to be pretty impactful is to get a message from a senior leader or executive. Those tend to kind of cut through the clutter. People pay attention to them. So we're going to do that to kind of kick off the day. And it'll reinforce that executive support for the customer experience and tie back to how important that is as a focus for our overall organization. In addition, we are going to do some things that will be kind of broad-based promotion, like setting up table tent cards, leveraging, digital TV screens, leveraging our intranet. So there'll definitely be some, added awareness activities there. At the moment, we are also exploring doing something for our frontline associates to say thank you. So some type of employee appreciation event or activity, just something fun that they can do as well, because obviously a key message is really, saying thank you for everything you do on behalf of our clients every day. So we have a lot planned, I would say, from an internal communication perspective, and then again, just in terms of the client appreciation piece, looking to do that on a broader scale in terms of increasing participation. And then as well, one thing that worked really well last year, which we do plan on doing again this year, is doing a lot of promotion afterwards. So we find that kind of, continues the excitement and the buzz, and we do find that associates also like to see, what did our peers do, how did some of the other offices or other sites or locations celebrate it. Just gives people a lot of good thoughts and ideas, and also keeps the dialogue going. So I'd say overall, those are our plans. We're really kind of looking to build on what we did last year and just have a much more comprehensive communication plan, as well as some supporting activities, to say thank you both internally and externally.
Thank you, Lynn. Thanks so much. And so Fidelity, that was Lynn Koch again from Fidelity, who will be planning their celebration this year, and then had a big piece to do with last year as well. I did receive one question asking about whether the table tents that Wendy shared would be available. And if it's okay with Wendy, and I'll check with her, we can go ahead and post those to the company celebrations page here at cxday.org. You can see here, Jack, why don't you scroll down just a little bit for me on that page. We have tried to put a few resources here that will be available to all of you, and you'll see here in the next 2 to 3 days we'll have some more materials to help you celebrate as well, including some more of these PowerPoint slide templates, some CXDay posters, and some additional resources. So I do want to make sure that all of you are aware that those are available to you here at cxday.org under company celebrations, as well as some additional ideas to celebrate the day too. If you scroll down, you'll see those, and some more information about how others celebrated last year. And so with that, I wanted to go ahead and see Amy Lucas, if she would share with us what the Timken Group did last year for CXPA. Amy, are you there?
I am, and I'd be happy to share. And our story, or my sharing, is going to sound a little bit different from Wendy and Lynn, because if you don't know, Timken Group we're small but mighty. So as a vendor in this space, as opposed to an organization with many employees to reach and engage around customer experience, we sort of looked at it as a chance to connect with our fellow customer experience professionals. And a lot of the things that we did last year we're repeating this year, and certainly invite you to take advantage of them in your own roles to help advance customer experience inside your organizations. Last year, we did a number of things. It included a webinar that we delivered, and for those folks who attended the webinar, there was a code for a free report download or a free ebook download. We published a special ebook of customer experience tips, 50 CX tips that's still out there, still free. That was a compilation of countdown to CX Day posts that we had collected, as well as a customer experience infographic that highlighted a number of stats similar to what you saw Wendy share on her table tents around the state of customer experience and the impact customer experience has. And we made a report, an additional report available for free, and you just have to follow Bruce Temkin, and his Twitter handle is @btemkin, Temkin. He'll be releasing another code that's valid only on CX Day to get that report. And then our interaction with folks directly came through the CXPA activities. We enjoyed the Twitter chat and the Google Hangouts and things like that. And this year we're doing many of the same things. We've grown a little bit, so we're happy to be offering a couple of free webinars, one at 10 Eastern on building customer experience competencies that I'll be delivering, one at 5 o'clock Eastern that Denise Bayhill will be presenting on 10 best practices for text analytics. Both of those webinars will also offer a code for free download of our report, Lessons in Customer Experience Excellence, which highlights some of the work that the winners of our CX Excellence Awards were recognized for doing. We will be publishing a new ebook this year on CX Day, 25 Tips to Amplify Empathy, and we really see empathy as important in customer experience, so there'll be a new book of tips that we're making available, and we're updating that infographic that we created last year with the new data from our research this year. So a new version of the Ultimate CX infographic will be out there. And again, follow Bruce. You'll get a research discount on any report purchased this year during CX Day. So again, sort of giving back to our peers in the space. And then again, participating in the CXPA activities. And assuming timing works out for all of us, I know Bruce, Denise, and I will all be at the local networking events that are planned in different cities where we all happen to be that day around the country. So that's sort of a highlight of what we did and what we're putting out there. There's a post on Bruce's blog highlighting what we're going to be doing on October 7th. So if you want to bookmark that so that you don't miss out on taking advantage of some of those things, please do so, or reach out to me and I can get you a link to that post. Thanks.
Thanks, Amy. I think what's really exciting this year is that, like Amy just shared, she's coming to Customer Experience Day from a different perspective, and what she and the Timken Group are able to give back during that day is really phenomenal. They're not the only ones doing that. I know Response Tech and Forrester are also doing a combined webinar on Voice the Customer programs for CX Day, and I expect we'll see more of that type of information rolling in. But I would definitely encourage you to keep this in mind as you are planning events for your company that day, that there will be a lot of great information shared that if you'd like to broadcast to your employees or to your leadership team, you should feel free to take advantage of that on October 7th. So here on the cxday.org site, you can see some of that online, some of those online opportunities under the Online Events tab. So let's go ahead and check that tab out really fast, Jack, if you can hit the Online Events one. And what you'll see here is we have a keynote webinar that day that is scheduled right now with Steve Cannon, who's the President and CEO of Mercedes-Benz USA. And so that event will happen in the afternoon Eastern time, and it's an open webinar that anyone can register for, anyone can take advantage of, and you can broadcast to a larger group if that would help you celebrate the day. And then here in the next, I'd say 24 hours, we'll have updates to all of our Google Plus Hangouts and our Twitter chats that will be happening on October 7th as well. And we did this last year. For those of you who are new to Customer Experience Day, this is in fact only the second year that we've celebrated Customer Experience Day, so please don't feel like you're behind the curve. But we did have Google Plus Hangouts that happened in various time zones, and we will be repeating those again this year. So if you have employees in Australia or Europe, there are Google Plus Hangouts that will correspond to their time zone. These are quick 30-minute conversations that anyone can tune into. If you are not a Google Plus member, that's okay. You can watch the Hangouts live over YouTube as well. So those are awesome opportunities to bring some online content to your company as well. So right now, we've got a few other people that we were going to hear from. But of course, we have everyone muted, and we can't seem to get their lines unmuted. So what we're going to do is open up all lines. So if you could all please individually mute your lines, that would really help us out. And then we'll go ahead and hear from some of our additional people. So we've gone ahead and unmuted all of the lines. So if it is possible for you to mute your own line, that would be very helpful. And I'm going to ask if Cheryl, are you on the call right now?
Yes, I am, Leslie.
Hi, Cheryl. Do you want to go ahead and tell us how New York Life celebrated last year and what your plans are for this year?
Yes, absolutely. So, as you know, CX Celebration was a new concept at New York Life, and CXPA was brand new last year. So I had to find a way to leverage something that I had already used for an offsite presentation to service leaders, and I used the 4 C's concept or theme to kind of back up the CXPA celebration theme, and the 4 C's stood for culture, connecting, collaborating, and creating. So it kind of fit right in just to get things going. So that was one of the first things that I had to do. And subsequent to that, we made a video. The head of service and the customer experience officer made a video about the customer experience at New York Life and just in general, and the importance of celebrating CX Day on October 2013. So for that video, we played it at each segment of CX Day, and we broke CX Day down into 3 areas, focus areas. The first was our community chat rooms, which consisted of CX roundtable discussions, and we did kind of a round robin where we had 12 tables, and we have 12 business leaders who kind of led the discussion and started the conversation at each table, and every 30 minutes we switched, and that particular leader got a new set of 10 people to view and listen and engage in conversation. With that, we had to do an AM and PM session because we opened up our celebration from just customer service to the enterprise. So we had to find opportunities to kind of get as many people involved as possible. So again, we had an AM community chat room, and we had a PM, which we repeated the same exercise and use the same business leaders to drive the conversation and to create the buzz in the room. And that was very successful and appreciated. And with that, we also, each of the business leaders prepared a deck, and I compiled the 12 decks in a very lovely booklet, which was offered to each participant. And the cover of that booklet, of course, announced CX Day and also the theme of the 4 C's that I mentioned, culture, connecting, collaborating, creating, which kind of was the glue to hold the day together. After that, again, for New York Life, it's very important to provide something for everyone. So we couldn't just do one event at one particular time. We had to find ways of spreading the good word and spreading the celebration so that we could incorporate as many people as possible. So the next segment was our lunch and share, which was a more informal gathering in our auditorium. And we didn't connect or link via technology, but at the same time, all our different sites in Atlanta, Cleveland, Dallas, they were having lunch together in a very public space and just sharing stories about their experiences and how they've had an impact in the CX space. So, and we offered lunch, so that was a great thing to do. Maybe this year we'll try to have it networked and have a speaker, but we'll have more to come on that. And then to close out the day, we happened to host the local networking event at New York Life, the headquarters in New York City. So that was a lovely way of closing out the evening, and with cocktails, a meet and greet, and then 2 speakers, key speakers in the industry. So that was our day, and I thought it was very successful, and we're very excited to kind of look to the 2014 celebration. So lessons learned from 2013, I would say we would probably stay away from an evening event because I guess we're more, the group here tends to like to do activities and events during the course of the business day rather than at the tail end of the day, or after hours, I should say. So we would, for 2014, kind of stay within that 9 to 5 space, and would probably want to participate more in the CXPA activities and online events, which I just saw you focused on the Mercedes-Benz CEO. So that's something we probably want to publicize so that we have something for others to engage and join the celebration. And possibly a webinar where for those who can't make the actual live events across sites can have something that they can look back to and remember the day and probably get some lessons and some best practices from a webinar. So those are some of the lessons learned, and I'll probably try to carry it over for the 2014 celebration. So for 2014, as I mentioned, we'll probably stay away. I'm definitely staying away from the LNE event or any event, a New York Life sponsored event in the evening. But of course, we are in New York City. We are hosting an LNE event in a different location, so we'll still get to do that and invite others to attend. But in particular at New York Live, we'll look to do probably an appreciation breakfast with some mini presentations from areas. We have some new areas that were just formed, business areas within service, and maybe it's a good time for the leaders of those areas or team members to share how they plan to impact the customer experience and any changes and future plans. So I thought that was something that would be interesting. And probably, again, to do a lunch and share, which we thought went up very well across sites, and have this one networked so that we can probably have an industry speaker or a panel of New York Live speakers who, because we don't get a chance, we're such a large organization, we don't get a chance to hear from different business areas. So it would be good to have a panel and talk about customer experience and have a Q&A and probably have some roundtable discussions after. So that's what we're thinking of for 2014. And of course, my advice to everyone on the call is to start early. It's already too late for us. I'm trying to kind of get people together. Everyone has their role, but it will be an important day. So it's really key to kind of get going full speed right now. So that's it.
Thanks, Cheryl. Great points. And again, Cheryl Warren is from New York Life Insurance Company. And you can see a little bit more about what they did last year in her write-up on CXPA.org. And Cheryl mentioned our local networking events. She called them by their acronym LNE, but if you aren't aware of them, we do have local networking events happening in 30 different cities. On Customer Experience Day, we ask those cities to host an event, and many of them do. So you can find local networking events that will be happening on October 7th here on the cxday.org page. Those events are listed under local networking, and you can see some of the cities listed here. We still have cities that are in the planning process, and their events are rolling in. So we expect in the next week or two we'll be adding additional cities to this map. But of course, these events are all open and free to the public on Customer Experience Day, and if any of your employees would like to attend, you're welcome to join those events. So it's another opportunity to celebrate the day. I just wanted to check and see if we have Lori Harris from VMware on the line. Lori, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Lori, do you want to fill us in on what all of you did last year to celebrate?
Sure. Last year, it was our first year that we participated as well, and we had arranged for a guest speaker to come in who actually had an emergency at the very last minute. So at the last minute, we pulled together a design thinking workshop at our headquarters in Palo Alto, where one of our customer experience designers led about 100 VMware employees through an innovative customer problem-solving technique, combining empathy, creativity, and rationality based on some research that had been done at Stanford University through a program that she had attended there. Are you there? Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought someone said something. So that was something that we pulled together at the very last minute, but we're putting a lot of more effort this year into doing some additional planning with the local networking events. I'm actually in the Kansas City area, and I see that you have one there at John Deere, which is right down the road from where I'm at. And we've got the putting together a room so anyone that's interested can attend the online event with Steve Cannon from Mercedes. And we've also got a company bash that's sponsored every Friday, and they have themes associated with them, so highlighting the customer experience day with a customer experience themed bash, as well as looking at other opportunities for this year. So we've appreciated this call to get some wonderful ideas from those of you who have had great experiences to share with us. So thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this.
Thanks, Lori. Thanks for sharing what you did last year. It sounds like you pulled something amazing together right at the last minute, so that's fantastic.
Thank you for that.
See, Cheryl, it's never too late, really. Okay, so I just wanted to see if we have, I don't see Marlene on our list here, but is there anybody on right now from Shop HQ?
I'm actually here.
Oh, you were just hiding in my list of attendees. All right. Do you want to go ahead and share what you did last year? I know you did some forward-facing things and then some internal things as well.
Yep, we did. So we celebrated CX Day with our customers externally as well as with our employees internally. Externally, we're a television shopping network, and so we did commercials and mentions by the host during the shows, and did banners on the screen to celebrate the day, and we positioned it as it's Customer Experience Day, but here at Shop HQ, customers, it's all about you. And so the day was at Shop HQ, it's all about you because it's Customer Experience Day. And so it was showing them appreciation for being here and for always giving us feedback, and it was all good. It was a lot of feel good. We also extended the celebration online on our website. We had special boutiques. We had free shipping to celebrate the day. We also extended it to social media. We had a contest on Facebook where we give away prizes, and we had customers tell us what was the favorite thing that they liked about Shop HQ. That we had really good participation there. And then internally, the timing happens to fall well with our customer relationship study that we do annually, where we share our Net Promoter Score. So every year we capture the Net Promoter Score and we share it company-wide because it's a company goal. And so we tied that with CX Day, and we had an ice cream social. We gave away prizes. We also had an activity where team members, when they came to the ice cream social, they had to identify where they fit with the customer in terms of degrees of separation. So it was a good awareness exercise. And then we even had some of the hosts that were on air come to the ice cream social, got a tray full of ice cream cups, and brought it to the live show, and had like the cameramen and the wardrobe people and makeup people come on set and have ice cream celebrating our customers and appreciation. It was an all-around fun day. So we're planning on doing something similar this year. We'll change up some of the activity a bit internally, but externally it's likely to be fairly similar because it's quite the production to put together ahead of time, so it's better to stick with what we know worked last year. So that's the plan.
Thanks, Marlene. That sounds really fun. I think maybe I want to be there in the studio eating ice cream with all of you. That sounds great. Okay, so we have, as you can all hear, we've had a number of companies that celebrated in very creative ways last year. And then we have some additional companies that are coming on to celebrate pretty significantly this year. And so I just wanted to see if Carolyn, if you are on from EMC, if you wanted to share a little bit about what you're planning this year. We may have Carolyn muted right now. Is there somebody on from me? Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Welcome, Carolyn. Do you want to go ahead and share what EMC is planning on this year or some aspects of it?
Sure. We just presented today. Kevin Scanlon's on as well from EMC, who's actually been the marketing support behind all this. So overall, EMC, we just got approval to be able to sponsor this as an annual event for EMC to engage this year for October 7th and leverage this opportunity to really reemphasize our commitment to our customers. Overall, we've created a opportunity to share employees. You define what TCE means to them, or the customer experience, and we've put it on the internal intranet, and people have been able all around the globe to share their stories on what they believe CX means to them. We're going to leverage that and showcase that out of some of the on-sites that we're having. We're hosting it at 10-plus cities across 6 countries. It facilitated 7 physical sites. We're asking that an executive do an executive facilitation at that site. And then the other sites that are not physical will do a TCE program in a box to provide them a virtual program to be able to do local to the site. We're also leveraging social media to do a huge push, if you will, to promote the capabilities for today and then moving forward. We're going to do a interactive session where we're going to be able to share analytical and data visualizations around use cases or improvements that we've put in place based on the data that we've gathered from customers and partners, as well as quality data and stuff that we've learned over the year. So they'll be able to interact real time or virtually from a virtual site. We're also going to have an external speaker come in and talk a little bit about what does it mean to have fans. We're having an ex-professional football player come in and share his story, talk a little bit about the criticality and importance of having loyal fans or loyal customers. And then we'll have, we're going to do like an executive trivia show where we have the executive team play games against maybe the football player and a couple of other of our customers. We're also asking customers and partners to be on site at the physical locations. And then we're leveraging the executive team to send out an EMC message to the entire company, promoting the event and asking for participation. And then we're going to leverage every channel we can through social to drive, the promotion of the event and leverage this opportunity for 3 things. We want to continue to, share and re-emphasize EMC's focus on customer-centric, and our customers continue to come first, and it's been that way for 30-plus years. The second thing we want to do is to really take this opportunity to engage our employees across the globe, to share with them and show appreciation for all they do on behalf of our customers every day. And then we want to leverage this as another listening post, if you will, to gather feedback to drive insightful recommendations that are going to enable us to continue to drive continuous improvements. So I guess all in all, and we just had it approved today and sponsored. There's a lot of excitement in the air, a lot of buzz. So we're really looking forward to this is becoming an annual event for EMC.
Carolyn, that is awesome. All I could think was I really hope your executive leadership team is not playing football against the football player. But
I don't know. Have you seen a couple of the executives? They might win.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for them. I think I have Kevin off mute as well. Do either of the two of you have any advice for companies who, it sounds like you have a lot of leadership buy-in, a lot of support and excitement for this. What was pivotal, what was key to making that happen this year? Do you have any words of advice on that front? So,
I don't know. I mean, Kevin can chime in, but from my perspective, once we were like, hey, we want to do something big. EMC over the last year or so, it's really been like 2 years in review. We transformed the overall focus of the total customer experience. The company realizes, we've always focused on our customers, but really understanding how customers are really the differentiating factor that's going to drive our ability to predict and provide products and services that respond to their business challenges. So, I've been fortunate that my first line leader at the executive levels, SVP, is so about the customer that he's been able to get buy-in and sponsorship at the CEO level. So it's just been instrumental. And I know Kevin is new to the team, He's actually been with EMC 4 years plus. We've been very fortunate. Kevin Scanlon joined the team in April, and the momentum and the marketing and the plug and the sponsorship has been truly, unbelievable. It's just been amazing, and he deserves all the credit. He's been able to work tightly with marketing to really promote and propose. And who doesn't get excited about customers? So I think it was an easy win for us this year. Kevin?
Yeah, no question. Caroline, I think you summarized it very well. I mean, the key is getting the executive buy-in, and once you get that, everything falls into place, and we've certainly found that to be true here. Once that comes into play, people, and as Carolyn said, the excitement starts to roll downhill from a momentum perspective in a good way, right? The ball gets bigger as it goes downhill, and getting everybody to understand that everybody at EMC impacts the customer indirectly and directly, and really broadcasting that message to a large audience during TCE Day, or I'm sorry, CX Day. And, we're certainly excited about some of the things we've done, and certainly look forward to giving a readout on lessons we've learned, in this next meeting or follow-up with this group.
And interestingly enough, today, I mean, this was so important to the executive team that I was asked to present at the board level today. So, I mean, the buzz is big.
That's really fantastic to hear. Thanks to both of you for sharing this. So we'll watch for more pictures and other exciting things to come on October 7th. And then I wanted to quickly see, too, if we have on the line Lorraine from Verizon or somebody else from Verizon that wanted to share. And if you're not Lorraine, we may have you muted, too. So go ahead and send me a chat message if you are on the line. But I know Verizon is underway, and a week ago they were finalizing their plans for a really big customer experience celebration internally as well. And so I know that Lorraine, if we don't hear from them today, we'll plan on having a synopsis here on our company celebration page as well. I wanted to point out to everybody one more thing before we open up for questions. Here on the cxday.org page, if you scroll up a little bit, Jack, there's a resource there for the iHeart customer image. And this is something new. We didn't do this last year, but we have implemented it this year. And you can see under our downloadable materials the iHeart customer logo. And just go ahead and click that open for me for a sec, Jack. We are looking to promote this logo. We're pretty excited about it. And you might have to do the high-res JPEG or the low-res JPEG, but it is available for your use. We are, as part of our local networking team initiative and our online team, we'll be running an Instagram campaign around the logo on October 7th and leading up to it. So we will be encouraging members to go to their favorite companies, to go to your own company, to take this iHeart customer logo and to upload that to Instagram with the hashtag CXDay. It will also help us tell the story of companies that really put the customer first and how they do that. And so please feel free to use this, and if it comes in handy for your company as well, to take advantage of that JPEG. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have us open up. I don't see anybody from Verizon yet, so if you are on the line, feel free to jump in here in a second. But we're going to go ahead and unmute the lines again. And if you do have a question, please feel free to jump in and ask that. I do have a question here asking if we are able to share a list of the companies who will be celebrating this year. And we will, in fact, on the cxday.org page under Company Celebrations. That page here in the next week or so will change over to a page that says, we are committed to celebrating customer experience. And you'll see the logos from the companies that you've heard from today with their little brief synopsis of what they're doing to celebrate. So we are looking for companies who are celebrating Customer Experience Day, and we are happy to list those on this cxday.org page. So you'll start to see those listed as well. And if your company is celebrating, I'd encourage you to send me an email or send an email to info@cxpa.org and let us know, and we'll get your company listed there as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and unmute the lines. And if you have a question, please feel free to jump in. Again, to get listed on our companies that are celebrating CX Day, feel free to email info, I-N-F-O, @cxpa.org. Now, we have unmuted all of the lines, so if you would, please mute your line if possible. Otherwise, does anyone have a question for any of the speakers today or for me? All right. Well, if you do have a question, please feel free to email
Muted.
at llikens, that's spelled Lykins, at cxpa.org, or you can email info, info, at cxpa.org. Please keep coming back to cxday.org, to our website, as the information there continues to get updated on a daily basis. I'd also like to finally point out that we do have a lot of teams that are helping us plan this day. So CXPA has initiated the planning, but we have a number of committees of members who are volunteering their time to help put all of this together. So I'd like to say a special thank you to Cheryl Warren, who you heard from earlier, and Lorraine Schumacher at Verizon. The two of them are co-leading our company celebration team. And that committee is looking at what kind of resources, what kind of support we can provide to help all of you celebrate CX Day internally. So many thanks to those volunteers out there that are helping us get ready for October 7th. Again, if you have any questions, please email us at info@cxpa.org, and we will have this available as a recording that you can go back and share with your team members. It looks like I have one last question before we wrap up today as to whether these recommendations will be posted on the website. And the answer is yes, we are trying to compile those right now with the company logos and have them listed on that company celebration tab. But again, we will have this website recorded and available on that site as well. All right, I want to say thank you, and thanks so much to Wendy and Lori and Lynn and Amy and Cheryl and Marlene and Carolyn and Kevin today for participating and helping to share that story and celebration with us. And I look forward to celebrating the day with all of you on Tuesday, October 7th. Thank you.